Now let's talk about the four primary business models that you can have as an Amazon seller. And this is really important because I've met people from all walks of life who are totally different types of Amazon sellers. So the first one that we have is someone who's doing essentially private label. So private label would be, let's take this computer mouse again, is that you are finding a manufacturer, maybe in China or in the United States or anywhere, who's making a product, and you brand it as your own. You put a label on there, you put your logo on there, and you call it your own. So you're basically building a brand, but you have someone else manufacture it, and you're doing what's called private label. This is one that's really popular. I see a lot of people doing it, and can be very successful. So you're building a brand, but you're not necessarily manufacturing it yourself. You're kind of pulling something off the shelf in a sense, and you are labeling it as your own. This is a model that has worked in the past. I still think it is possible today. The margins have gotten squeezed a little bit. I'll cover that more later, but I think it is one that is still an opportunity for people to explore. Now, the other one is retail arbitrage, and this one's really interesting. So retail arbitrage, you're essentially sourcing products from wherever else and then selling them on Amazon. So sometimes you'll find gaps in the market where maybe you can buy products directly from a company for $40 and you can sell them on Amazon for $80. And you can take a spread there by basically selling other people's products, other brands' products on Amazon. This is one that I don't have a lot of experience with, I'll be honest with you. It is pretty popular on the platform, but I don't like it for a couple of reasons, or it's just not really for me. And that's because it's not building enterprise value. And I'll get to enterprise value in just a minute here. But retail arbitrage, you're basically buying products and reselling them on Amazon. You might be finding them, like you could go to Costco and Costco might be running a sale and it's really deeply discounted. You can buy those products and then you can flip them and sell them on Amazon for a profit. It can be risky because sometimes the actual price of it will drop because the market's getting flooded with them. But I have met a couple of people who are making tons of money doing specifically retail arbitrage by selling other companies' products on Amazon's platform. So you're not actually building a product yourself, you're just selling other people's products. Then we have wholesaling. So this one's pretty straightforward. You're buying in bulk and then you're selling retail. So sometimes you can directly purchase, say, 10,000 units of a product, and maybe it costs $2 per product when you buy them in bulk, and you can sell them for $10 individually. This is, a strategy that's been working for hundreds of years, buying in bulk and then selling retail. The price per unit is going to be higher when you're selling one versus when you're selling 10,000. Now, the fourth business model is when you are building something that you would call enterprise value. So this is the one that I find to be my personal favorite, and I'll explain this. So essentially, building enterprise value is building a brand that people recognize, and because you have a brand that people recognize and people like to go to it, think like Crocs, for example, right? Crocs shoes. People know Crocs. They know the brand. They know what it looks like. And because of that, it sells itself very often. You see someone else wearing it, you know that they are Crocs. You've heard of them before. Maybe you've had a pair in the past. And enterprise value, I think, is where the real money is made. And that's because you can build a business that might cash flow and you can make, $500,000 per year from that business. But the real money is made if you look at billionaires, for example, and I don't want to go off on a rant here, but if you look at billionaires, most of their wealth comes from building a brand, and the wealth there is in the actual value of the brand, not in the cash that they're making from it. Like Mark Zuckerberg with Facebook. How much money does he personally make per year? I mean, I'm sure it's hundreds of millions or billions of dollars, but most of his wealth, it's because he has equity in Meta. Or Elon Musk has equity in Tesla, or Jeff Bezos has equity. He owns part of Amazon. And that's where the real, true wealth is created from enterprise value. This is the value of the company, not just the cash that it's making. And this is why I think building a brand that you could potentially sell in the future is probably the best move that you could make, or at least personally, that's the move that I am making, because my goal is to sell companies. So I want to build companies and get them up to, say $30 million a year, and then be able to sell that company for a 5x multiple on my sales and sell it for 150. I know that sounds crazy, but that is what people do. And that is the way that I think real money is made is by building a brand that you could potentially sell in the future. Okay, so how do you build a brand with enterprise value? You can kind of actually do it with the first model, which is private labeling, but it's just creating your own brand, right? And marketing that brand so that people know it and they trust it. This could be like, think of all your favorite brands. Those all have significant amounts of enterprise value. So we'll go into it more later on in the video. I'll show you how to get things set up and how to find products. But I really would recommend starting your own brand, your own company that eventually becomes a household name is really tremendous value.